it's just as important to know which rules to break as it is to know which rules to make in your business, because honestly, many of the rules we set ourselves prove to be unworkable, and then we can feel like we've painted ourselves into a corner and we feel stuck. I want you to think about identifying the rules that you've set that aren't working for you. Now, these can be in any setting of your business. It might be your fees. It might be how you've structured your team. It might be how you're marketing your business. It might even be how you're spending your time. The rules that you set and you publicly announce, these are the rules, are allowed to be changed because it's your business. You're the boss. That's what comes with being the boss. You get to change the rules. So it's not so much about changing the rules that can be problematic. It's about how you go about identifying which rules to change and how you then go about communicating how you're going to change those rules. And you know what? You don't even have to specify why. So, for example, really great conversations today with some of my coaching clients about fee changes and identifying that something they'd set up as a rule wasn't working for their business and they needed to make a change to how they were structuring their fees, particularly for services offered outside of business hours. We had a conversation about how that might look. We had a conversation about how that might be communicated, because in particular, there had been a recent fee increase which had this business owner feeling like they were painted into a corner. So the conversation centered on how do we communicate this and how do we use flexibility to change fees or change direction in any area of our business. So we can communicate with our team that this is going to happen from X date. We can communicate with our customers or our clients that this is going to happen from X date. We don't have to spell out why. It's not always necessary or even helpful to spell out business reasons behind business decisions. It can add to confusion. It can add more information than is necessary. It can be a real situation of too much information in some cases. So have a think about a decision you've made recently and you've felt like you've needed to change your mind. It might be someone you've hired and they're not working out. It might be a branding decision that you've decided you don't like. It might be that you've decided to only have contractors in your business and now you've decided you want employees. That's exactly what I did in my business. I moved initially in my private practice from an exclusively room rental model, which worked for quite some time until I realized I was spending more money on my business than it was generating from that particular revenue stream. I had to change. I had to change my mind, and I had to communicate that mind change to the people that were renting rooms from me at that time, because I'd realized the kind of business I wanted to run was a team. And I wanted to provide all the bells and whistles that a team gets. And so in order to be able to afford to do that, I had to change the mode of engagement with the members of my team. I could no longer afford to provide them what I wanted to provide them if they were only paying a room rental. So we moved forward onto contracting, and again, I realised the nature of engaging contractors meant I wasn't allowed to provide them the sorts of things I wanted to provide them to build the team culture that I wanted in my business. So thinking strategically helped guide me through those changes. And we're talking about changes, my practice is over 12 years old now. But these changes took place within a very short or comparatively short time frame, like over the course of 12 to 18 months, these changes took place, maybe a bit longer than that. My team is now fully employed, and I rent rooms to people I know, love and trust when I have spare rooms available in my clinic. But room rental's not my mode of engagement anymore, neither is contracting. So for me, to have the team culture that I want for my staff, I want them to feel that they're part of a family and that I can provide them with all sorts of special treats from time to time, like days off and stuff like that you can't give to contractors or room renters. So I want you to think about big and little decisions that you feel like you really, really want to strategically make a bit of a U-turn on, and then think about how you're going to communicate that. And I can tell you that when I made those big business decisions and made those big changes, I was guilty of too much information. I felt obliged to give all the ins and outs of my decision-making process and my business needs behind the scenes to justify why I was making those decisions. At the end of the day, it wasn't necessary. And certainly the change from contractors to employees happened naturally over time. As one contractor left and the next person was engaged as an employee, gradually my team became exclusively employees. So big decisions, you're allowed to change your mind. As long as you are not acting from fear, and that would probably be my number one caveat. Recognize when you're making a change based on fear. Now, it might be fear of criticism, or it might be a scarcity issue, fear of not having enough, whether it's enough staff, enough clients, enough time, enough money, enough referrals, enough of anything. If your decision making is based on fear, you need to take a step back and perhaps find somebody who knows what they're talking about to use as a sounding board. But if you know that your strategic forward vision doesn't support the rule you've painted yourself into a corner with, then your gut is telling you you need to change your mind. So it might be, as I said, it might be a change in decision around fees. It might be a change in decision about staff engagement, or something as simple as branding colours. Even if you've spent money. Have you felt that before? You've spent money on something for your business and feel obliged to stick with it because you've spent money, even though you know in your heart of hearts it's not the right direction for your business. So how do we do it? We take a step back, we take a breath, we get into our CEO mindset, which is our strategic long-term thinking. And we think about, where am I heading? Where is my business going? Where do I see us in the future? And if you can visualize that future you, the future for your business, how you want to feel when you think of your business in 5 years' time. If that's too far away, think 3 years, even 1 year is a good forward vision. If that's all you can picture for now, that's okay. And then think about this thing that's not sitting right in your belly. It's not feeling right in your gut. Is it aligned with that bigger picture thinking? And your instincts will tell you if it's not. So if it's not aligned, you need to make a change. You need to think like a business owner. You need to act with empathy and clear communication, of course, but you need to make business decisions that are right for the strategic direction of your business. Give yourself permission to change your mind. It's okay. Have a great night. Bye for now.